Blog Talk Radio. that won't light in my poetry room. Children out playing in a big full moon. My man's barricaded there in his room. It's coming out soon. I remember when I met him, he blew in like a wind. No one was more beautiful or dangerous than him. He blew through my soul like a tangerine wind. It's coming out soon. I never knew I was built so strong. My heart is a boat on the sea. I never thought I was built for hurricanes. My heart is a boat on the sea. Luxury looms on a fog-bound day. I'm not alone now, and I'm not afraid. I'm clean and I'm free. It's all stripped away. The debts are paid. I wonder if he ever looks down on the sea and thinks about the time that he spent with me. I know everything's exactly how it has to be. All right with this world. I never knew I was built so strong. My heart is a boat on the sea. I never thought I was built for hurricanes. My heart is a boat on the sea. In the cold, in the dark, in the rain of my heart. In the cold, in the dark, in the rain of my heart. In the cold and the dark, you're the grain of my heart.
Hello and welcome to the Poetic Inklings tomorrow. Brought to you by Poetic Slice of Life, which is a group located on allpoetry.com, the largest poetry website in the world. I want to thank Kevin and his crew for all they do, keeping that site up and running, giving us a place to write our poetry, read our poetry, hang out with friends in the chat room, and have a good time. Poetic Slice of Life always has been and always will be a not-for-profit organization. Always has been and always will be owned and operated by my lovely wife and co-host, Kay. Say hello, Kay.
Hello.
Kay is the bestest wife anybody could ever ask for. I am her Wesley, Stevens 76. Tonight on the Poetic Inklings, it is our monthly visit with Agnes Cecile, a terrific painter, a wonderful painter, who works primarily with watercolors. And real quick, I will say out on the board, hi Naomi. Hi Naomi.
Naomi and
I
Buho.
see Buho out there too.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Anyway, we got some pretty cool poems, I think, that were inspired by her paintings tonight. Any poem we read, when the author is not present, we do have written permission for that author to read that poem. And the way we got that permission was through our group email, poeticsliceoflife@yahoo.com, _ between each word, please. Best and only way for you to give us permission to read your poem on the air. And every author does get credit for their work. And the views and opinions in said poetry, as well as the views and opinions and the comments and the commentators, may or may not reflect the views and opinions of a poetic slice of life. And with that, I will hand the mic over to you, hon.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everybody who gives back to all the rooms here at allpoetry.com, especially the rooms that offer shows. Because without everybody giving back in all the ways that they do, the rooms and shows will not be what they are. And, of course, if there's any episodes you like, download them to your devices. That way you can listen to them at your leisure. And, yeah, I should say thank you. And, of course, as I like to say, when choosing to leave a comment on air or leaving a signature in somebody's poem. At the end of the day, being respectful is always appreciated. So thank you for that, too. I should speak about the songs real quick, because sometimes for some of these shows, I'm never sure how to open up these shows. So the first song, Being Born by the Pet Shop Boys from their album Behavior from 1990. Pet Shop Boys lead singer Neil Tennant, who wrote the lyric to Being Born, was interviewed on British TV's The South Bank Show in October of 91, where he talked about the song. A lot of songs come about personal experience. The song Being Born, which I think is one of our best songs, I was reminded of a party we had when I was living in Newcastle as a teenager, and it quoted the Zelda Fitzgerald quote, "She was never bored, mainly because she was never born." A very good friend of mine from that era, my best friend really, had passed away from AIDS, so it was kind of an elegy for him, for the part of myself in Newcastle, all my friends in Newcastle, and when I went to London, then what I was doing, and he wasn't there, so it became a really important song to him. Okay, and the next song. This one was one that I'm glad it showed up in my shuffle because it's one I forgot. It's actually from the soundtrack to the film Grace of My Heart. It's probably a movie that I feel does not get enough recognition. Grace in My Heart is a 1996 film that was written and directed by Allison Anders and starring Ileana Douglas, set in the pop music world starting in New York City, Brill Building in the early 60s era. And throughout the film, it kind of was focusing on that genre, you know, the music from that decade. And it basically is about an heiress who, when she moved out, she changed her name and wanted to just break away from her family and her name. So she changed her name so that way she could try to make it in the music business, but that didn't work out so well. But she wanted to do it on her own without getting, you know, perks given to her because of her name. But the soundtrack was pretty cool. And in the film, Ileana Douglas, she did sing. But for the songs that were put on the soundtrack, it was not her singing. It was actually the lady Kristen Vigard, who sang the song that we just listened to, A Boat on the Sea. And that's what I got.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, the soundtrack is pretty cool. There's 3 different songs that she sang from the soundtrack. Each one is more cooler than the last, I feel.
I don't believe I've seen that movie.
You may have. You just don't remember. I don't know.
Really.
I've seen it a lot of times. It's a great film. I mean, you know, it takes place, like I said, in the 60s, and it kind of slowly, you know, moves through the entire decade. Because she was more so a songwriter, her character, and she was able to make more of a name for herself writing songs than she was a singer. So it's got Matt Damon in it. Eric Stoltz.
Good cast.
John Turturro. There was a lot of actors in there.
I've probably seen it.
You probably have. You just don't really recognize the name.
All right. I see some others have joined us on the board out there, Jessica Ann and Justin.
Yes.
So.
We should probably get started.
All right, yeah, because we do have a lot of poems. And Stephen does have to get up early tomorrow morning.
Yeah, no. It's been a long day for me, too. I'm ready for sleepy pies. But you should check your studio first.
Nah.
And then we will move forward.
I don't know. I think tonight we'll just leave everybody on hold and not let them in. We'll just make them stand out in the cold and the rain instead of
Quand il me prend dans ses bras, il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose.
It's so funny what you said. I was laughing, sorry, giggling. Gonna make us weak. And the rain. I missed your show. How are you, everyone? I'm sorry, just the kind of. It was scary, the stuff that you have. Sorry, I skipped it.
Oh, okay. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Just tired like you. I really had actually only 3 hours and a half sleep. I don't know how I'm still functioning, but so I'm gonna. Truly, just 3.5. So it's crazy. I'm hanging there, so I can sleep well tonight.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah.
How are
doing
you
well.
both doing? That's great.
Yeah.
Good. Yep. Just tired, mentally exhausted.
No, well, days have been long lately.
Yes. Oh, wow. And I really like the prompts. Thank you. It's amazing. Such a great artist.
No, thank you. Okay. I'm not sure what kind of time you have, so I dropped yours first, so I put your audio in the studio. Did you want me to press play for the audio? Okay.
Either way is fine with
Here
me.
I go.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I'll press play.
Thank you.
I love poems. Life was like this. La vie fut ainsi. Life was like this. As there are love stories made for tears, when the love has set, and both hearts were taken, together they wanted to be for life. All in all wants to disunite them, yet love does not know how to die, and the passing days wrote these indelible words in memory. Beautiful eyes, so with us, neither you without me, nor me without you. Fly in my dreams like a feather in the wind. Fly away, unfolding your wings. You breathe air, a pleasure to be reborn, and finally feel alive, an endless dance. La vie fut ainsi, comme il en est des histoires d'amour qui font pleurer. Quand l'amour s'est mis, le cœur était pris. Semble, il voulait être pour la vie. Tous les vœux de zénir, toutefois, l'amour ne sait mourir. Le temps défilé a écrit ces mots ineffaçables dans la mémoire. Vos yeux, ainsi de nous, ni toi sans moi, ni moi sans toi. Je volerai dans mes rêves, comme une plume au vent. Je volerai loin, en dépliant tes ailes. Tu respireras de l'air, un plaisir de renaître. Tu sentiras enfin vivre dans une danse sans fin, in the storm.
Excuse me. Wow, I like this one a lot. There's so many lines in this that really grab me, but the two that really kind of really got me was together they wanted to be for life, all in all wants to disunite them. That really kind of made me think quite a bit actually. But I said in my comment that I haven't dropped quite yet. Try as some may, true love is unbreakable, and truly is, as you say at the end of the poem, an endless dance. I really like this a lot, Saul. Very well written.
Oh, thank you so much, Stephen. I think I was tired that day.
Yeah. This is a wonderful share.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I saw that it fits to the quote that you had written too, but it also fits to the picture. I definitely like the lines. There are love stories made for tears when the love has set and both hearts were taken. Together they wanted to be for life, all in all wants to disunite them. Yet love does not know how to die, and the past days wrote those indelible words of memory. Those are really beautiful lines. It speaks, as I saw it, to the avenues of love in one's soul, carrying special places in the heart. But I like how you speak about as well flying in dreams and folded one's wings to be reborn, alive in the dance of eternity. It's definitely a beautiful share.
Oh, thank you so much. Really beautiful poem too, and you both give the best comments. So thank you. Very genuine, very profound. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you too.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Please hang out for as long as you want.
Yeah.
Yes, until I fall asleep. Will be my this. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I dropped Jess Grand down, and his right is called "Hit the Snooze Button at 5:30 a.m." But first, should check the studio for I press play for my audio.
I just did. And I'm not sure who that is.
Well, okay. Let me press play for the audio, and because that probably is Rack.
Well,
but
I'm gonna hit Rack's intro here in a little bit.
Okay.
Jeepers! Jinkies! Dang, I still don't have a catchphrase.
It might be Naomi too.
Could be. Raconteur or Naomi?
Somebody's on Skype, but I don't know who.
Oh, maybe. I can. No, she's not there. So on the screen, sometimes she goes on Skype. Gitanjali, but she's not there.
Oh. I don't know. Nobody's answering though.
Well, how about after I press play, we step in the green room real quick. Does that sound?
I need to listen to the poem. I haven't even read it.
Oh, I know, but still. So, okay, let me say this is Jess Grand, and his right is called "Hit the Snooze Button at 5:30 a.m." So let me press play.
Oh.
Hit the snooze button at 5:30 a.m. As dawn reaches the day, the sunlight sparkles. I peek through the window. The flower unfolds. The greetings to nature, welcoming with me. Watching nature bliss, as evening rest, gushes through my veins, jumping in the running air, it just sleeps. As easily as trouble, running by the fair wind, across the senses, found by valleys. Indian embrace, where timing golden star I found, heaven's his work. Breeze is his skin, tongue has no shape for but now, a mockingbird calls, and a mud pass. As I melt down, I paint a beautiful canvas on paper, wielding ink in a bud, the voice of everybody's saying, taking a rhythm in the sample words. I wrote an idiom, agenda be love, lifting a mud of the earth. Empowering and walk alone with silence in mind. I call it a day. Cuddling under the fingers stars, is buzzing me in my ear. So go and see, with the angels. Dance around the golden clouds. For Lord wants you to keep breathing. Each blessed moment you give to the world. Remember everyone. Thank you.
All right. Well, I will say because I had to spend a little time in the green room, I did not catch this whole poem, so I did bookmark it. So I will read it and give it a comment later. I do apologize for that, Jess, but I am going to defer to Kay. What do you think, hon?
Okay. All right. So I like how he starts out with saying, adrenaline rush gushes through my veins, jumping into running gear, hit the streets as easily as stubble, gunning past the fierce wind, breeze refreshes skin, lungs have no space for words now, a mockingbird calls, another mile past. As I mellow down, I paint beautiful canvas on paper, wield in ink in my blood, the voices of everybody's pain. I really like those lines that he put in his right because, as I see it, they add the view of one in action, putting one foot in front of the other, taking on the day head on and embracing everyone as well in heart and soul of kindness and humanity and grace of humility. But I really like the close when he speaks about go and run free of the angels, dance around the golden clouds, for the Lord wants you to keep breathing. Each precious moment you give to this world shall never, ever depart. You know, those closing lines to me, they add, as I see it, the perfect touch and given the all-important meaning of live well, and live each day to the fullest.
Excellent comment. I look forward to reading it now. Saul, what do you think?
I just love how he's very inspiring, his poetry. There's always something beautiful message about and how he intertwines his poetry into nature most of the time. And this one speaks to me in particular because I do wake up at dawn, so it made me smile at 5:30. This snooze button, I do this often too. And it's beautiful when you wake up at dawn and pick in the window. So true. Maybe see something different. I mean, depend on the season. The nature, effect on nature on him, and how heaven kisses the earth, and there's this breeze. Just to describe it so beautifully, you can feel it. I literally can vividly see it and feel it because it's just so beautiful. And then I love the ending as he talks about, where is it? Breathing. So go and run free with the angel, dance around the golden cloud. I'm following your step, Kay. And for the Lord wants you to keep breathing. Each precious moment you give this word shall never, ever depart. It's true. God wants us to enjoy this like everything, the air, the breathe. Just enjoy every moment that we are here on earth until we're still breathing. It's so beautiful. It's so spiritual. I really love his poetry. I just like something about it, and how he writes is just amazing. It touched you deeply.
Excellent comment. And I will say this about the title. There's only one reason to get up at 5:30 in the morning, and that's if you're going fishing.
Well, they have to get up early for a reason.
I know. We used to have to get up that early for work, and I hated it. So it's Naomi, and we don't have an intro for Naomi, so everybody knows what intro people with no intro get.
No.
Yes, so here we go.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Hi, Naomi.
Thank you. Hello.
Hey, Naomi.
That was cool. Hello, Paula.
Finally hear you.
Steven.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard. Did you want to comment on Jasper's poem?
Yeah. Oh, what beautiful lines he has in there. I wrote one on the board. I blow dandelions of gentle breeze of love, lifting the mud off the dirt, empowering them to walk alone. With skyline in mind, I call it a day cuddling under a blanket of stars with words ringing in my ears. Ah, such beautiful lines. They just flow along. It's just art on the paper. Just wonderful.
Indeed. Excellent comment.
Okay, let me do this.
Okay.
Since Naomi is here, I will drop hers down next. I did upload your audio, Naomi. Did you want me to press play for you for that?
Sing on it. So. Hope I don't scare you away.
No. Do I press play for the audio?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then. Here I go.
Trim my wings, oh, so softly, when my hair spreads out like a summer sun, and on your pillow becomes a field of wheat. When the shadow and the light design upon your body mountains and forests and islands full of treasures, que je t'aime, 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 que je t'aime. when my mouth becomes soft, when your body becomes hard, when the sky in your eyes all at once is no longer pure, when my hands would like to, when my fingers don't dare, when my modesty says no, with a tiny voice, que je t'aime, 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 que je t'aime. When I no longer feel kitten and I become tiger, when the jungle howls and I finally break my chains, when my first sigh ends in a scream, when it's you that says no and it's me who moans yes. Je t'aime, que 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 je t'aime.
What a treat.
Yeah, your singing was awesome.
I liked it a lot. I'm just finished writing a comment. I'm saying that it's a beautiful song. It's peppered with love, sensuality, and strength. I thought this was an excellent write, Naomi.
Thank you.
What did you think, hon?
Well, yeah, when I put these audios in the studio, I don't really listen to them until showtime, actually. I just put them in the studio, listen to a few seconds of it before showtime to make sure everything jives right with matching up. But, yeah, after hearing this, it's a wonderful read. Your singing's awesome. And, yeah, I have not heard of this song before. The way you brought this together, it's really beautiful because, yeah, there's definitely sensuality. But I really like how it reads because when I read it earlier, as I said, I see a power play between two, a merging of the two and knowing each other and exploring together. Yeah, the metaphors they add to class. This is awesome all around.
Thank you.
Excellent comment. Saul, what did you think?
Oh, que je t'aime, que... This is the part, I'm sorry, I just love it. I really do. He did an amazing job, just beautifully sang. I love the mix of the English and French. And I agree with everyone, it's very beautiful, romantic, and passionate. But I feel there is some yearning as well. The opening stanza is really beautiful when my hair spreads out like a summer sun. The imagery are so soft. And your pillow becomes a field of wheat. When the shadow and the light design up on your body, mountains and forests, an island full of treasure. Just beautiful. So welcome back. I'm so excited to hear you. That's a treat.
Back. Summer's over, so I stopped running around.
That's great.
Fishing.
Okay.
Awesome. Where did you want to go, hon?
Well, you'll have to read for Dan. Last I checked, there wasn't an audio. So, yeah, okay. There you go.
All right, so this is by Boodho, or as we call him, Dan, and it's called Deliberate, or is it Deliberate? I'll call it Deliberate.
Okay.
In the throes of anxiety, a crush of adrenaline arises as disharmonious pheromones discharge in parallel vein. Questions before answers strain and buckle awkwardly in the undertow. Seeping shutters, increasing mass pressure, sifting through venerable cracks of distorted realities, of the misguided or misinformed, or both. A quiet but deliberate impasse, struggling to find even balance, stroves via corner recesses of psyche in colored mosaic prose, tinctured and homogenized and left for wanting, revealing the obvious that demonstration of free will and thought is not always the end-all for the clear contemplate. End poem. Interesting. This is one that would require me to think.
Yeah.
But I like the imagery in there that he talks about, especially like the questions before answers strain and buckle awkwardly in the undertow, as an undertow can knock you off your feet very easily. Been there for that. So that I like that imagery, that keeping you off balance, and the quiet but deliberate impasse, struggling to find an even balance. Yeah, I thought this was really cool. An interesting right to that picture. What do you think, hon?
Well, yeah, it definitely is what he brought. Pretty cool, because I like how he speaks about throes of anxiety, crush of adrenaline, rises, questions before answers, strain and buckle, undertow, seep and under, increase in pressure, sifting through cracks of reality, misguided or misinformed or both. Speaking about struggling to find balance along with the closing, it really takes a view, adds its look of chaos, manic, maybe erratic thoughts, but also trying to find an understanding as well that, as I saw, gives a look inside one's thoughts that can possibly also extend to another and speak into them as well. It's an awesome share, Dan.
Excellent comment. What did you think, Sala?
Oh, I really love this one. I was a little bit puzzled like you in the beginning. It's a little bit more abstract than usual for him, but I love it. Anxiety is just really, as he said, the crush of adrenaline rises. I follow your step again. The charge in parallel vein. And it's true, when you're so anxious, there's so many questions, flies, and you're confused and you don't know. Are you misguided or misinformed or is it both? He really brought it to life, this anxiety. And it's funny because I also saw anxiety in her face. I almost did write about it, but I said I already wrote about anxiety. So definitely perfect choice for his his writing, and beautifully, and his wording, verbiage is incredibly beautiful as always.
Some comment. How about you, Naomi?
Yeah, well, he wrote to opposite impasse. So the whole thing is about, in the throes of what is, what am I, where am I going, what's coming, where can I go, where am I coming from. It's all mixed in there throughout these wonderful lines. That's what I found, I read into it, and anxiety is an awful thing, it can really seize you and really hurt you, so I found this was wonderful read, really deep, and a lot to read into it, and to read over and over, and each line to pick apart, and I'm sure you'll find other things within it, when you read it more. So wonderful, right?
Awesome comment. And real quick, I'll say hello to our newest person tuning into the show, Crisley Bear is out there. Hello, Crisley. And yes, so far, all is going well. Hope the same for you.
I like to think it's going well.
So far. That's it, so far.
Yeah. So, okay. I felt this was fit into the painting called Her. This is by Forgotten Mage, and this is called I Write. Sorry. Okay. I write in watercolor, blurred tones, gliding through each stroke, dancing with inspiration on blotchy pages. I write with recycled words, stolen thoughts, and cliches, spoken so many times before, infused with new life. I write with weak words to capture an idea, a feeling, a soul, a concept, for we cannot live without them. That end poem, and I'll just read the author's notes. She says, I've been noticing the weak words bit on the bottom of poems. Perhaps I'm not a good poet, but it provoked some thoughts.
Yeah. Well, you read it, hon. What do you think?
Well, almost on a daily basis, there's always a conversation somewhere along the lines about weak words, cliches, and a lot of different things when it comes to writing. Sometimes when it comes to writing, the weak words, they need to be there because it helps to bring what you're trying to say forward more so, as well as the cliches. Because, when you think about it, at the end of the day, the greats that we're all inspired by to this day, they put cliches and weak words in their poems, and they're well remembered through the centuries. So sometimes I don't think it really matters as to, the weak words. It's more so about the expression and expressing from your soul. So, yeah, I think this is a wonderful share because it definitely speaks to the heart of creativity, one's art and words, as they all need to flow, just as they should.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And actually, that's what I was telling her in my comment, too, that weak words can make extremely strong poems. And I was just saying, like you said, I said Edgar Allan Poe used a lot of so-called weak words.
And look how many people he inspires to this day on so many levels.
I told her she's a great poet. As this piece really does speak, like you said, of creativity and how the writing process comes around, and she did it in a very poetic way. I thought this was really cool. And like she said at the end, weak words, we can't live without them. I think I speak in weak words almost constantly, so yes. And don't forget, heart. The word heart.
That doesn't make sense.
Is a strong word, and it's a weak word, and it's a cliche.
It covers all bases.
There you go.
That makes sense.
Yeah. What do you think? Solid? What do you think?
Sorry, I thought you said Naomi. I was confused for a second. I really love this because I always actually had a discussion with a friend about the cliche and the weak word and how whatever your 0.10 or 5, I never really matter for me because you can't take them out. Then you're really missing something. And I wonder, this cliche and weak word, I think it's a modern invention. Because I don't think in the past they were thinking like this when they were writing. I would like to search this. I wonder if this is something new or something always existed. Weak word, and who came up with it? Because sometimes you want to express feeling. If you want to say love, your heart, how are you going to exactly how you say? What other words will? There are words sometimes you really have to use them, and I love how she put it there. I write with weak words to capture an idea, a feeling, the soul, the concept. We cannot live without them. Absolutely. I agree with her. This is really amazing. I think I'm going to post it on it because I really don't like how, this grading thing. I think it's just, this is the way it should be. So I really love it. It's very provoking at the same time.
Indeed. What do you think, Naomi?
I thought this was amazing. I write in watercolor, blurred tones gliding through each stroke, dancing with inspiration on blotchy pages. And then she goes all through, and, I write with weak words to capture an idea, feeling, a soul, a concept, for we cannot live without them. And it's true. In everyday life, we run around talking in weak words. And, if you want to touch, I think, well, the way I write, I always write straightforward. I don't use, big fancy words, big fluffy words. I'm known for straightforward, everyday. I get inspired by eating a bag of chips, and the more, and just watching people around me and the way they talk, the way they act to certain things, and I'm always observing, and the world is filled with weak words. And if you want to touch somebody, I think, really, really touch them, well, you have to put in those weak words because they are part of, of real, raw, and, the gritty down, the, right into the gut, So, yeah, you can't live without the weak words, and they make for great rights. So, yeah, I really, really like this.
Indeed. Definitely agree. You can't write a love poem without using weak words because the word love is a weak word, and any other word that means love is a weak word. So.
Yeah. You're like, fine. Who made those rules anyway that it's weak and cliche?
Exactly.
I have no idea.
Right?
I have no idea.
I'll find out. I'm going to search it. I'll let you know next time. I'll post it. I'm serious.
Yeah, let's draw them out of the shadows.
Yeah.
Let's get a poetic lynch mob going.
Exactly. So, okay. Okay, I was wondering if Saul could read the next one I had dropped down by Pyrosis Soul Weaver.
Okay, let me see first, if you don't mind, please. How difficult is the word? Oh, maybe no. I'm going to pass it to this one. Pass it, if you don't mind, Naomi, and I can read the other one. I don't want to destroy it. I'm sorry, because I know how he writes. Sometimes he uses sophisticated words, and I don't want to destroy them.
Do you feel like reading, Nancy?
Oh, you better, right?
You do better job than me.
Oh, yeah, you're sure about that? Oh, but doesn't it have a SoundCloud, or is that what I see on the beginning there?
It usually does, yeah. Everyone is scared. It's beautiful writing.
But when I opened it, I saw, like a SoundCloud there, but maybe that's not the poem.
No, it's not.
No, the one that I'm looking at, there's no SoundCloud here.
Okay, it's Love in Circles, a vignette of recovery. That's the one?
No.
No, that's not the one.
No.
Boy,
no.
Okay, I'm not
Let me
in
send
the
it
right
to you.
order.
Let me send it to you. I'm going to send it to you, Naomi. 1 second. Or you can read it. One of you can read it.
Okay, I got it. Oh, wow.
Okay,
I got it. Oh, I can't even pronounce the title. Prodigium?
Do you want me to read it?
Prodigium? Dost thou perceive the that dwells within searing rhythms? The sting of a feverish venom flows within quiet whirling flames, as blackened flesh torments this monster to a maddening struggle. Screams of shattered quiddity buried beneath endless betrayals. Dare thee osculate every roar of blistered agony beyond ocean. Hearken the sedulous strain of nightmares sealed past his prison. These dark exertions pirouette upon the threads of the spider. Aspirations dim beneath the heated weaving of her scarlet dribbles. Can you tame the fiend and glimpse beyond the wailing loss? Impart a new cadence that cools the conflagration to embers, streaming a cool remedy that may yet numb the mutilations, perhaps sing the midnight essence, feathering, calm, still serenity. Just run away before all amour blows as an ashen desert upon ruined yens, thy tears parched to a wilting memory, scattered to emptiness. Even a demon wishes not bind to the sea of misery. Oh, perceive a feverish monster buried beneath blistered agony, nightmares pirouette upon heated weaving, beyond a new remedy, feathering calm, run away before a wilting memory of misery. End poem.
Wow.
You did great.
Yeah, I think you read that very well.
Yeah.
What did you think of it, Naomi?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So concentrated on each word that when you're concentrated on the pronunciation, you just like it flows over you and through you, and you don't get to really dive in. Can somebody else comment, and I'll just like reread this a little bit.
Okay.
Sure. What'd you think, hon?
Okay. So I read this earlier, and this is my comment. I said, at the end of the day, we all fall short in ways, especially on those that we love. Sometimes more so upon the ones we love, as it goes back to that old saying that it made me think of immediately, that you hurt the ones you love the most. His words definitely speak to the heart of this, I felt. As I said, love is a complicated thing. To have that one that understands you, unlike the rest, is what we all want. But sometimes our edges cut another when we don't need to. That's my comment.
How about you, Sala? What did you think?
Oh, I love his poetry, but I was afraid to destroy it because his verbiage is incredible. This is really beautiful. There's so many imagery that are so, and the question asked, can you tame, defend, and glimpse beyond the wailing loss? It seems like you're talking about loss here. And before this happened, just run away before, I love the imagery in ancient desert upon ruined dunes, the tears parched. So he's talking about, I think, before this happened and registering the memory and his loss and wailing, run before this happened. It's just the way I just love the imagery, which is not bind. That demon, even a demon, do not bind to see the sea of misery. No one want to be in the sea of misery. And it is, loss is like a monster that really take us to the abyss down when you feel this way. It's darkness. Well, I just love his writing. Beautifully done and beautifully read. Thank you. Amazing. And I have to say, when it comes to comment, oh my goodness, I don't know, Kay, how you do that. You just like remind me of Socrates. You dig in the bones inside and get the substance.
Yeah.
Excellent comment. Naomi, are you ready?
Yeah, I see this as he's writing about how love can really hurt you. Well, that's what I saw. And, how it can bring you pain. So he says, run away before, a wilting memory of misery. I think he was in love, really, and it hurt him. It really, really hurt him. I see this line. He has monster in there, and then he has threads of the spider, aspirations dim beneath the heated weaving of her scarlet dribbles. So he's really in pain here. And yeah. So and this is this is beyond up and beyond. Like would never write like this. It's wow. It's the lines in here are just packed with these beautiful, well chosen words, that really grip you and pull you into the place where he wants you to go. So yeah, this is really, really an amazing piece of art here. Really wonderful.
Awesome comment.
Okay. I have an audio for this next one.
All right.
Okay. But I should say this is by Shelley Bourdon, and this is called Hand and Geraniums.
Hand and geraniums. Force the life out of the living, gripped in their controlling ways, never accepting or forgiving. Deceit is the game society plays. Feel they have the upper hand, crushing the earth's dreams, power over all man's land. Justice isn't what it seems.
Info.
Wow. Quite the brevity.
Yeah.
Hand and Geraniums. That's an interesting title.
Well, it was.
Painting? Is that what the painting is called?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's basically a hand
Holy
that
flowers.
it has the flowers, but it's crushing it in its fist.
Yeah. Force the life out of the living. I'm going to end up reading the whole poem again on the air. But grip in their controlling ways. Maybe this is talking, I think, maybe I get too wrapped up in current events because of where I work.
Yeah.
But to me, this is almost talking about how there's places that are pretty much saying that if you don't get vaccinated, you can't come in here or you can't work here anymore. I even heard that with a police department somewhere where they may have the police chief that's been there for 40 years may get fired because he's refusing to get vaccinated. I kind of see something like that going on with this piece. The fact that maybe the government's taking a bit of a too big of a bite out of everybody's freedom. Maybe. But a very powerful brevity. What do you think, hon?
Well, yeah, I mean, I can understand where you're coming from because, if anything, I don't watch the news all the time. I stay in the know with snippets here and there. But I do think that if things go a certain way, I do think it's going to create its own uprising. I could see how you saw that. But I definitely like how she speaks about never accepting, forgiven. Deceit is a game society plays. Feeling like they have the upper hand, crushing dreams. But I felt those are great thoughts to add to the close and even more profoundly when she speaks about justice isn't what it seems, power over man's land. It is a sadness, as I see it, of life and how at times it seems to go. It's powerful brevity, says a lot in so few words, which makes it more impactful to bring so much with so little. So, yeah, this is an awesome share. Thank you, Sasperton.
Indeed. Excuse me. Naomi, what do you think?
Yeah, everything Kay said.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, it says a lot in so few words. And the hand, I see the hand as human, and the geraniums as nature, as everything we destroy, everything that is pure and everything that is beautiful in this world. And and we just force the life out of the living, and and we are mean. We are, justice isn't what it seems, And this is, I think it's about life and society and all, what's going wrong in the world. And that's what I see in it. And it's very, very powerful, very well done. And it's beautifully written too. So really great write.
Indeed. Excellent comment. Sala, what do you think?
I really agree with you. I'm not going to lie, say that passed my mind what you said. I love what everyone said, but it made me think deeply. It's really true. Like, unfortunately, in general, when someone have the upper hand, it's not the first time it happens in history and of humanity when someone impose and have this upper hand. And absolutely, that's what happens. You get deceit, controlling, and crushing at the same time.
Lost everybody. Hello?
What do you mean lost everybody? I can hear you.
Oh, no, I can hear you.
Are you okay?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
You cannot hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
No, I can hear you. I can hear you.
She made me laugh. I thought we drove the only two of us here. Naomi, are you okay? Maybe she dropped. Maybe something happened.
Well, she did drop. Yeah, she did drop.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, yeah, it really is a great poetry. Her writing is very profound, and this is another one beautifully done and beautifully read.
Yes. Yeah.
Excellent comment.
Yeah. And I guess I should say thank you to Naomi for hanging out.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. I haven't heard from her in a while, so it was nice.
Yeah. I can understand about coming back to shows and hanging out, because certain people, they come back in certain times of the year. So I'll say thank you to her on the board though. So okay, I am gonna drop Laughing Souls down. I was wondering if Sawa could read for her.
Yes, I can do that. Hopefully. Okay, let's see. I was commenting. Sorry, so I need to refresh the page. I'll go back and comment later. Okay. Where is? Sorry, I'm kind of slow. Here we go. I missed. No, she doesn't call recently too. Okay. Capri seashells paint the blossoms pink, laughing so. Withers of blooming bud exhumed by venomous ASP. Capri seashells cocoon the ebony scar. Use kaleidoscopic shawl. She gleams still. She is a star. And the form. I'm sorry if I distorted some words.
You did well. What'd you think?
Okay, thank you. Oh, I need to. When I read, I can think. I'm sorry. I need to. Just give me a second.
I'll let Kate comment first.
Yeah, I know that she had did a contest that I believe is still open pertaining to breast cancer, because October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So, when I was reading this morning, after reading the author's notes, reading the right, it spoke to me because, as I said, breast cancer is something that actually holds great importance to me. It runs high on my mother's side of the family, as 3 of my aunts had to deal with it. And as I said, I tend to get nervous every year when I get my mammogram till I get the results.
One year more than others.
No, I know, because I had a full hysterectomy at the age of 37, and because of that and my family history, my doctor every year says that I need to get a mammogram every year to make sure that everything is okay. So, there's always that hesitation when you get it and you're waiting for the results and keeping those fingers crossed that everything comes clean. But with the family history, and then with the history that I have surrounding me too, because your aunt passed away back in December after her 2-year battle from breast cancer. And the right takes me to my one friend too. She's one of my many friends from my support group. At the age of 30, she had to get a complete mastectomy. She had to lose both of her breasts at the age of 30 because the breast cancer was so aggressive. And the problem is, she's still a young woman and she wanted to start a family, and that kind of took some chances away from her too, because it helped to make her have issues with fertility, as to having a family of her husband. And after the loss that she did experience, my heart really went out to her, because 30 is just too young. Breast cancer, to begin with, is something that is devastating, because with all the people that we've known, it is a constant battle. And if you beat it once, it could still come back again. So the right really spoke to me, because it's a huge part of my life. Do her right, though, I said. I also see one strength, one that will still shine and keep fighting to live. As when faced with cancer, it is a daily struggle, as each day is a gift, but tomorrow never really is promised either, as I have witnessed with many. This definitely is an awesome share. Thank you for sharing this tonight.
Sorry. I agree. I think that this little brevity is very powerful. The description of cancer being a venomous asp, I definitely agree with. I recall the one year when they actually found something in your mammogram, and we were worried for weeks before they finally figured it out that it was nothing.
Yeah.
But I can remember that, the feelings that I was having, worrying about you and wondering what was going on and not getting any answers for weeks, and then finally, thank God, everything was fine.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm not sure what else to say, other than the fact that, yes, cancer is a venomous asp, and my uncle and your uncle are going through it right now, so, yeah, it's not, you have to stay strong, as she says in their last line. She gleams still. She's a star.
Yeah.
Powerful piece.
And always remember those self-examinations, because sometimes that's what helps you to find out that something may be going on that will make you want to get to the doctor and get tested further.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Of course, you're lucky enough to have a husband that'll do them for you. Yeah. Sawa, what'd you think?
I really applaud her for this poem, because it's very deep and meaningful to have, first of all, awareness of breast cancer, and also empowering women. I mean, she separated the last line. She believes she's still a star, capital. That, in spite of what they have to go through, it is. We shouldn't only look at the physical look, because it is sad. That's how women are judged most of the time, by their physical look, and even by other women, not only. It's just a horrible. I know one of my colleagues, that happened to her, and she went through a lot of lack of support. This is really sad, because just going by this and then also not having support make it even worse. So I really applaud her for that. It's an amazing poem, very empowering, sad reality, but at the same time empowering women who have still going to be who they are.
Indeed. Excellent comment. And we have a couple of people waiting at the door. And earlier, I remember I did say I wasn't going to let anybody in, but then I saw what it is, and I let Naomi in. So I guess I'll let them in. I'll be nice. Here we go.
Kneel before Zod!
Hello, Sky.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, Scott.
How's it going?
Hey, Steven. So, it's going good. How are you guys?
And thank you.
I wanted to say that at work, we have this product, and it's kind of like tater tots, but they're smaller.
Yeah.
And so they're called baby cakes.
That's right. I remember you telling me about that.
But they don't. So I don't know why. I don't know why the bigger ones aren't called mama cakes. Woo.
Hello. Hi there. I'm stalking her. I know. Can't help myself. Sorry, I have more stalkers.
Sky, did you hear Yeah. Who was it?
I didn't hear it, but I
Cecile?
read it while you guys were commenting, and I thought it was a very powerful brevity. Brevities are a beautiful thing. I think they're really underrated. I do myself tend to write very lengthy poems, but I do write a lot of short pieces. They just always end up in longer poems. But there's a beauty in brevities and a powerfulness that I think really they especially can provide, especially when they're written with strong language and emotion, such as Cocoon, The Ebony Scar, Hugh's Kaleidoscope, Shaw Thought Stark. That's like every word means something, and that's really what you have to do in a brevity. You have to make every word count, and not only gear towards the subject and the message, but also the emotion behind it. And I think she did a really great job, and she gleams still. She's a star. I think that's important to remember that, the things that we overcome definitely make us more beautiful. Really well done.
Indeed. Excellent comment. And how about you, Boo? Did you hear her read it?
Yeah, I read it before. This is sort of like kind of abstract for her, I think. Because at first I didn't get it. It sounds pathetic, but it's true. Then I, read it a couple more times and I got it better. That it's powerful, like she said. It's strong, and I think maybe the shell symbolized. Like when I looked at it, I thought it was like wealth and fertility, it says, and health, and so maybe that's why the shell was there. I wasn't sure, but it's very different. That's different for her. Cocoon, the ebony scar. I think most women, they can say that doesn't matter, but you just feel less womanly or less attractive or whatever. When even though that's not the case, they feel that way. That's what I hear most at work, the complaint. And it's a big deal to women, but some people don't take it seriously, and it is to feel less feminine. I think the picture she used there is beautiful, too, and amazing brevity. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 lines. Great job, Soul.
Indeed.
Yeah, I know. You're talking about sleeping.
Yeah. She's out on the board right now. Laughing solely. She said she's sorry that she couldn't wake up earlier. So I told her on the board, you should always be allowed to sleep until you want to wake up.
Yeah, but that doesn't work.
Unfortunately, you're usually not allowed to sleep like that.
Yeah. Life demands it.
Yeah, my schedule is so off. I have to start reeling it in.
No.
No, I understand.
I sent out like four things today. My resume to 4 places today. I was very productive. It's been a month and a half, and I've been like really dragging my feet and not really making so much of an effort. But I sent out like 4 things and actually made my resume public on a site so people can just contact me. So I really have to start reeling it in. No more 1 p.m. No more 1 p.m. wake up time.
Yes, I understand. I do.
But they're so much fun. I love those.
Oh, goodness.
Guy, we're going to get you read at about 2 a.m.
Well,
and we're going to drop Boo next.
I was going to drop Boo and then Scott. So it all works out.
I just said I can't stay up all night anymore, Stephen.
That's too bad. If I'm up, you're up. What is it? What is it from Scrooge, right? If I can't work late, I can't work late.
It reminds me. You just reminded me of what every cat says ever.
I need this?
I need this?
No, if I'm up, you're up. That's what every cat ever says.
Yeah, it's pretty much it. That and, Oh, it's 3:30 in the morning. It's time to run around like a hellion and wake up the humans.
Sometimes.
All right, Boo, your poem is on the board.
Okay. This is called Develop Me. Hold me, let me listen to your chest rise and fall. Allow me to collapse, find my home once and for all. Kiss me as you pull me closer, two lips join our flame. Make love for hours while screaming out my name. Protect me, have your way with me, fingers through my hair. Take charge, let me know, I ain't going nowhere. Complete me, deep wanting and needing, only man on earth who can calm me with his breathing. Makes me wonder why I spent so much time unnecessarily bleeding. And poem.
Yeah, I like this a lot. It makes me think of a very strong love and adoration, but you also pepper it with some sensuality in there as well, and it's just the right amount too, where it's not like over the top or anything like that. It's just enough to make it really pretty. I think this is great and very well written to that photo. Painting. It's painting. Awesome, right, Boo?
Thank you. It's a cool painting.
Yeah, it is. What'd you think, hon?
Well, yeah, I have to agree with what you said because, yeah, the intimacy, it's there. But through those moments, you bring in keywords that for me when I read it, it holds more weight to me and meaning when you say protect me and complete me. Because I felt those were keywords that speak to the heart more so of what many want long after the interludes of flesh have washed away. As those moments only last so long, when two are together like that. But the life shared together is much more longer. Having those components mean so much more. So, yeah, I really, those 4 words, those are the ones that stood out for me. It's an awesome share.
Thank you.
Excellent comment. And Sawa, what do you think?
I love the title, Envelop Me. I love the poem, of course, because it can implies both intimacy and support and being there and protection. When you envelop someone, you protect them. So this is really a really powerful title. And you go, I think, like everyone has said, you start with intimacy, but then you move on to even deeper. Protect me, complete me. That's what love is about. It's not only physical, it's both. So you really brought it beautifully classic and well done. And it talks about love, queen of romance.
My new favorite topic.
Yes.
Thank you, Sal.
So fun. My pleasure. I'm kind of literally more than half asleep, so maybe my comments, I'm pushing it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome comment. And Baby Cakes, what do you think of Mama Cakes?
I thought it was excellent. I really did too. I loved the sensuality, and perhaps it was really exposing the need and the wants of another person. And then there was this bit of the past and reflection on the past and past relationships. A good thing to remember though too is that sometimes we think we're wasting relationships in the past, but I truly believe that each person kind of helps us grow, whether it's a bad experience or a good experience. Every person in our life teaches us something, whether it's to do something or not to do something, or to be a certain way or not to be a certain way. But I also do, I like this, how each one hold me, kiss me, protect me, complete me. Each opening stanza, has core foundations of a relationship. So I think it did quite well.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah. That was very, very lyrical, too, I think. And speaking of lyrical, warm up your pipes. I think we got one more commenter here. Don't fly away. The sky made me solo in. Hi, Deb.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It was a very nice photo.
It's really off my game. I'm sorry.
What, did you hear Boo's poem, Deb?
Well, I didn't get to hear, but I did read it while you guys were commenting, and I think Sky had just commented on the first line of each stanza: hold me, kiss me, protect me, complete me. Just those four say a whole lot, but each section allowed me to collapse and find my home. I love that part. Where is it? Take charge, let me know I ain't going nowhere. But especially the end, deep wanting and needing, the only man on earth who can calm me with his breathing. It makes me wonder why I spent so much time unnecessarily bleeding. I think that if you did nothing but that closing stanza, that you because like if you look at the photo, how she's all full of color and he's mostly some grays. So now look at your last stanza, complete me. Deep wanting and needing, the only man on earth who can calm me with his breathing. And that's all that's going on there is a beautiful hug. Maybe he's breathing in your ear. So it's just, there's something that screams in that closing stanza that is like wow-worthy. Great share, Bill.
Oh, well, thank you. Thanks, Deb.
Excellent comment. And Boo, would you like to plug any shows over at La Cosa Nostra?
Sure. Tomorrow is me and Rob, and that's at 9, and that's T.S. Eliot Clotes. Saturday is Linda, but I'm not sure what she's got going on. She told me she'd have it up there tonight. And then Sunday's Open Poetry at 9, and there's a contest getting ready for the third anniversary. That's our third anniversary. That's the 31st at 9, too. So the winner gets a gold membership. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
3 years. Can you believe it?
No. It went quick. Still hanging in there.
Yeah.
Our 2-year anniversary is coming up pretty fast as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a few weeks.
And the 24th.
Yeah. Yeah. Coming up. All right. I better shut it.
Yeah.
Start dropping poems down.
All right. There's the magic, Deb.
The magic. And the artist is really awesome. She captures expression well. I was quite taken by this photo. And it's called You Triggered the Storm Whirling Inside Me. And here we go. Gray hues stripe the peacock blue skyline, clouding the views and the sunlight outside. Standing in the whirlwinds as brown curls flap and green eyes show the tales of aches inside. Ebony lines mark cheeks and dot my sweater as black mascara stains the teardrops falling. Now the rain pelts the flesh and saturates me, leaving me shivering neath the shroud stalling, trapping me in the dark, rampaging shadows with hissing voices surfing the breezes calling. Just as the cloudburst clears from the canopy, the periwinkle pink pigments color the horizon. Tangerine tints burst, tossing down glittering light from the topaz rays sprayed by the blazing sun. On the path that trails to the place you stand, mimosa perfumes the air in my lungs breathe in. 2 butterflies flittered from red blossoms to blooms. Then twin sparrows chirped the symphony of the din. Shadows float into the treetops. Now plump lips. And Paul.
I like this a lot. You describe. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on. Dry spot in my throat. I think you described the painting very well with your descriptions. especially towards the top. And I like the stanza. Where's it at? Now the rain pelts the flesh and saturates me, leaving me shivering neath the shrouds, stalling. And I like what you said in your author's notes too. There's always got to be a little rain sometimes. Yeah, you got to have those lows, or the highs won't be as delightful, is what they say. But then you end this with the happiness of finding that person that makes all the bad things kind of just disappear. I like this a lot. Very well done.
Thank you, Stephen. Great comment.
What do you think, hon?
Well, yeah, I definitely like how you give a look inside her thoughts and heart and soul. With the author's notes, bringing in a little bit of the crow, but you also had the peaks of love, because, yeah, while love is a beautiful thing, no matter what, it will always have those moments of hurt. It will have those highs and those lows, but if the love is genuine, it will survive the lows and the hurts, until it gets back to where it should be. It's a beautiful share.
Indeed.
Thank you so much for the awesome comment. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sky, what do you think?
I thought it was an excellent piece, and I love how you brought in the color. And if there's one thing in these photos, there's such a wonderful sachet of color, and especially against the white, it pops out. And I think you brought that to life with the ebony lines, my cheeks and dots, my sweater, black mascara stains, the teardrops falling. And then there were so many cloudbursts, pink pigments, tangerine tints. It was wonderful. But beyond the images of the, I guess you would say, crayon colors, or those artful sachets you brought in, there's also that beautiful, I guess that kind of what Stephen and Kay were talking about, that little bit of sappiness. On the path that trails the place that you stand. I love that one too. Two butterflies that are from red blossoms to blossoms. It was definitely a journey of finding, I guess, someone's heart or another's heart. It was really well done.
Thank you, Sky. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Comment. And Boo, what did you think?
Well, I think the AN says a lot about the poem. Along with the sunshine, there's got to be a little rain sometimes. Isn't that the truth? I also like the couplets. I always like couplets. I think it looks good and it reads well. It's very boxy, which I enjoy, of course. But this is about somebody who's sad for somebody who's going through something, and maybe they are meeting somewhere along the line where they get to the point where they connect and they realize that, this is kind of like the best that they have, and they have to do what they have to do with it. Do the best kind of what they have to work with, kind of, that's what I see. And it's very romantic on the place that trails to the place that you stand. And with the perfumes in the air and my lungs breathe in, it's like a renewal and an acceptance, I think. And finally, at the end, two butterflies get together and fly away happily, or, at least knowing where they are, where they stand, and how much love is there. I think it's very beautiful and well written, and I like the mascara stains and teardrops falling too, because I've been there a million times. I just throw some shirts away even with all the mascara on there, but I thought it was a great job, very beautiful.
Thank you so much. Awesome comment. And yeah, I'm with you with the black dots that sometimes they don't come out.
No.
But the line in the author's note is actually, I usually mark it. I have to go back in there and fix it. But it's actually a line from I Never Promised You a Rose Garden.
Oh, okay. Well,
I beg your pardon. I never promised you a rose garden. That.
Yeah. My mom loved that song.
It seems familiar. Kind of rang a bell for me too. Yeah.
Yeah. Live and let live and let go, and it's a great song. Yeah. It's old. My parents used to listen to it, and my aunts specifically.
But
Something about that part always stuck with me. Along with the sunshine, there's got to be a little rain sometimes. You got to take and let, I don't know, whatever, but it's a cool song. I'll have to put that in there too. But thank you, everyone.
Who sings that one? I forget.
Say it again.
Who sings that song? I know my mom used to sing it too, but I forget who sings it.
Well, I know that, like, there's quite a few people. I want to say that one was like Donnie and Marie Osmond. Let me see here. But it's by Lynn Anderson.
Lynn Anderson.
A country singer.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. David, would you like to? My tongue's kind of twisted.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk about shows over at Team of Voices? plug. That's the word.
Yeah.
Sure. On Friday. No. You know what? On Saturday is the next show, and we had to postpone the show that with Hatter's idea to create your own Halloween-ish holiday. So we're going to do that on Saturday night, 11 p.m. Eastern, with me and Hatter and AP. And then on Monday night is the costume party. So if you don't have your costume, pick one. And I'm looking forward to that show. It's the first show to kick off Halloween week, which ends on Halloween's on a Sunday this year, so you figure the first day is a Monday. Anyhow, I'm looking forward to it. But then I always do, because everybody always blows me away with their poetry. It's a quick poetry-filled night that always impresses the hell out of me, and can't wait.
Yeah.
That's 10 p.m.
Yeah. Awesome.
We'll be there.
Yep.
Looking forward to it. And, yeah, so I appreciate you and your prompt. And you have something tomorrow, I'll go find it so I can write. Love and respect to you all. And Stephen and Kay, thank you very much for that contribution of points today. Excuse me. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Love and respect.
Love and respect. Okay. After Sky, we'll plug all of our shows.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Sky, would you please read your poem? Even though it's not 2 a.m. yet.
Good. I can't stay till 2 a.m. today. So this is a pre-write, but I've never had a picture to this. It's so old. It wasn't really on EP. But here we go. I've got this. It's called Lessons Learned. When I found cobwebs stitched in the back of your throat, I knew words would never fall from tongue to lips, not the way I needed them to. And I learned I could not settle as you could not change. End poem.
Yeah. And yet another powerful brevity. Oh, what a metaphor. Cobwebs stitched in the back of your throat. Somebody who might be emotionally repressed, somebody who can't tell you how they feel, someone who doesn't feel like I used to be, actually, is what I'm seeing here. Whether it be some sort of a traumatic past or what, actually showing their true feelings. That's what I'm seeing here. I think this is really cool, Skinny.
Thank you. You know something, Jon Snow.
Sometimes the blind squirrel finds a nut. Sometimes.
Yeah. It makes me think about our picnic today when we went for lunch.
Like 10 squirrels all searching for nuts at the park.
Yeah, there was like literally an arsenal of squirrels all over, just zigzagging all over the park. It's cute. Yeah, yeah. I heard your comment, so I think that it is true. All of us in one way or another, we have our own hang-ups and mindsets, and this ride's definitely short and sweet, as I said, and it doesn't need much else to be said to the right. I like how you speak about cobwebs in the back of the throat, words that would never come as the other needed, and learning that one could not settle as one could not change. Yeah, it speaks to me, of what's in the heart and the soul that needs so much more than what is given, and understanding that it is time to care for yourself more so. I think at the end of the day, when it comes to love, as we've been speaking about, it's a tricky thing. And, sometimes all it takes is one person or many people if you keep letting all the wrong people in. And it shatters trust so much where you no longer know how to trust or how to be there because you're just waiting for that person to hurt you like everybody else did. It makes relationships complicated.
Yes.
Yeah. It's an awesome share.
Thank you, Ken.
What do you think, Blake?
Well, this kicks ass. I mean, I haven't seen you write so many brevities, but this, you don't even need many lines in this one. This says it all right here. I mean, you get to the point where you're like, you realize they're not going to give you what you want. You're not going to get what you need, and then you're not going to settle. And this person's not going to change no matter how much you try, no matter how hard you try. I think we've all been there. And I love when I found cobweb stitched in the back of your throat, and how we never pay attention to the red flags. We never look at those signs and those warnings that we should have paid attention to or we should have seen. I think this is amazing. You wrote this in 2014, it looks like it says. This is incredible brevity. This deserves the front page. This is really badass. I love it.
Great. Thank you, Boo. And it is true. We ignore things because we want to make it work, but sometimes you can't change the core of somebody, I mean, people definitely grow. Definitely people grow, but you can't change certain core aspects, and sometimes you just got to learn and know when to, so you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
Or when to fold them. That's what I was thinking.
Kenny Rogers.
How long we stick around.
I was waiting for someone to start busting out in song, but no one was there.
I busted out in song.
I might be too tired to do that.
Should plug shows.
Yes. Do you want me to plug if it's this Saturday and then start plug?
Yeah.
We're actually almost 2 Saturday.
Yeah.
So I will say that the next show here is tomorrow night, Movement of Sound, 9 p.m. Eastern, Duran. So we are going to listen to songs, from Duran. We are going to learn about those songs, and we're going to read some poems inspired by the songs. And then we have, on Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, something different with a request, bring your favorite dark rite that you wrote. And that's it. Did I say it? 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
In case I didn't, I did it again. And that takes us around to Sky. Sky, tell us about your show on Saturday.
My show on Saturday. We are going back to the Grimm. Boo, I know you messaged me, and I don't know if I messaged you back, but I'll send you the topic link. So what you got to do is there are a limited amount of prompts. And what they are is I've uploaded audios. So you've got to click the audio and listen. Most of them are under 10 minutes. There were 2 that were a bit longer, but those 2 are taken. So I think the ones that are left are about 6 to 10 minutes, maybe in between that. Listen to the original story, published 1812 versions of the Grimm Brothers fairy tale. And then what I want you to do is rewrite it into a poem or into a short story, into a flash fiction or whatever you want. Tell me what you would have kept out, what you would have left in. Write your own version. Or you could just write something that inspired you as well. That's okay, too. And we will be enjoying Brothers Grimm. So that's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, and I am asking if you need to read and run, please let me know 12 hours beforehand, and I will pencil you in, because I want to get you in and out, but I want to make sure that I can go about the schedule as planned. So
okay.
I am being a little crazy about this one.
Well, listening to you say that about the audio clips, I was one of the ones that took the longer clips because mine was like 18 minutes when I listened to it.
Yeah. I didn't think anyone was going to take that one, so I was planning on just like doing like an outro, like doing an end to with Debs. But now the two longer ones are taken, so I'm thinking about how I'm going to do that. But it's going to be fun. I haven't settled on I'm going to play everyone yet, but I do think it'll be fun to listen to them for everybody. So they are quite different. They're not what you know what they are today. They've been through not only 7 different rewritten editions from the Grimm brothers, but also adapted through time. So it's pretty cool to learn what the original, even those aren't the originals. They were stories, that were passed on through spoken word or taken from other texts. But these were the first compilation that they kind of just took and wrote in their own way, and then developed them 7 different times, rewriting and rewriting and reworking and cutting out and putting in. And I think that's pretty cool when you think about it. So.
Yeah.
Awesome, because when I heard that you're going to actually like play those audios of the stories, I thought, okay, I'm going to go to Walmart. I'm going to get myself an adult onesie. I'm going to wear it, and I'm going to have cookies and milk.
You're funny.
I have to tell you something. Oh my gosh, the coach, he already loves you. He's already a huge fan of yours. I have to tell you, he's quite smitten with you. But the coach was just begging me to get him a onesie for like years, and I'm like, you're too old for a onesie. Your mother would kill me. So I finally, last Christmas, they have these adult jumpers that are like onesies, but they're like jumpers, and they're zip-ups like onesies, but they're very stylish, they're very adult, they just look like jumpers, and they're big, they're 1 feet, they zip in, and they have like a little hoodie, and I got him one. He loved it, he put it right on it, and I came over like maybe 4 or 5 days later, and his mom's like, he hasn't taken it off yet. And she finally looked at him. She goes, you need to go shower and wash that.
Wow.
Just picture a 6'3" teenager in this. It actually works out well. I'm going to send you a picture now. It was pretty stylish. It was.
Cool. All right. Where are we at? Oh, next Monday.
Yeah.
Next Monday at the Mortuary of Shadows, we are going to bring in yet another Mr. Tall, Dark, and Quiet. That's right. It will be Michael Myers. We have digital art of Mr. Myers for you to look at and get your news going and write some pretty cool
stuff. Can you hear it?
I don't know. We can find out.
Yeah,
Did you hear me?
Not really, but I enjoyed the music.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Nice.
Okay. So, yeah, we got Michael Myers, digital art of Michael Myers to get your muse going, write some dark poetry about Mr. William Shatner mask.
Yeah.
And, yes, I did include a picture of a Captain Kirk type thing wearing the mask. So
yes.
That's one of the artworks. So, yeah, there you go. And then next week on the Inklings, still keeping up with the month of Halloween.
Yeah.
Next week on the Poetic Inklings at 10 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday night, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. We have quotes from the book. Check them out.
Yeah, there's a lot of film adaptations.
We're going to be watching the Michael Caine version of it. So.
Yeah, that was 1990, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of versions, seriously. But, yeah, we're getting closer to the end of October, actually.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, I should probably give a shout-out to our 29th show?
Oh, the 29th? The show on the 29th is...
That's Friday.
It's something different with the request, but it's going to be kind of like Movement of Sound because we're doing our annual Rocky Horror Picture Show. Late night double feature picture show. Yes. So, everybody knows the film. Check it out. I'm sure it's free to watch somewhere.
Yeah.
And write something for it. Or bring a pre-write that you brought previously to it. As that is, we're going to be celebrating our second anniversary on the
Halloween
air.
weekend, yeah.
Halloween, yeah, because...
our first show was on Halloween night.
Yeah, just like LCN. We share an anniversary. But we're going to celebrate ours a couple of
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. Okay.
You got to read. There's no audio for this one.
No audio for Frank, so I will read for Poetic Picasso. And no, I don't think I can do a good imitation of Frank, so please don't expect it. Here we go. This is called Wings of Immortality by Poetic Picasso. I was born to the turquoise seas that bore in me naturally like a child, and to the crimson buds of the fields that weaned me. In the bosom of the celestial arches of the heavens, where my breath is one with the aerial currents, riding the blazing chariots of the winds. My spirit lies within the racemes of the lilies of the valley, drifting into the mirage in the oasis or the stratus of the sky. And I am the polished agate forgotten by the alchemist, or the amorphous glass and crystalline tears of paisley falling from the rain. They become the ice crystals of the Siri, or the pearls of the sea, stranded on the bottom of its cold, shallow waters, and forsaken to the diorama of my illusions of the mystic city of Iram. Within the crevasses of the souls and the dark urns of the ashes of the dead, the gothic sorrow of inscriptions of gravestones in the rain, of souls destined to the inflammable encrusted hearts of their sanctuary, beneath the concentric circles of light seen around a luminous corona of the sun, and I am the streaking comet pulled by the gravity becoming debris. I am reborn from the labyrinths of the blooming Zonarius of Aden into the origami of flowers and shapes, a prism of colors. As the filigree of the frost melts and my heart transforms into a beautiful fleur-de-lis, and 1,000 chrysalises of the swallowtail butterflies open their contours. They become the choreography of the angels and the compass of the universe, where the lutes and zithers of lovers are heard with the harps of divine nature, as the thread of gossamers become jewels of rubies and emeralds, and dreamers become the mermaids of the sea with their sighs. The fairies of the fields with their laughter, or the tears of the cherubs of the heavens. My sorrow no longer will flood the sea with my tears of rain, and I shall rise like the phoenix from within my skin to fly into the heavens. For I am the atom of love and the pneuma of my immortality. But I too aspire the splendid wings of immortality. End poem.
You did great.
What you think? Thanks. I'm going to take a breath and let you comment on.
No, yeah, you read this wonderfully. But yeah, I like how he brings in nature and the different types of flowers. But the narrative, it's definitely high caliber that speaks of how Frank speaks. Meaning it has a passionate life to it. It speaks of life itself, one's birth, but with the closing too, speaking about through life, one's own immortality, because I know that this is something that has been spoken about in past shows. You know, immortality is a word that has a very vast meaning for a lot of people, you know, knowing that life can only go for so long, but with immortality, being remembered by others in more profound ways, to not be forgotten. So yeah, I that's what I think I'm seeing here, because he's speaking about rising like a phoenix, you know, because usually the phoenix, it means rebirth. Speaking about rising to the heavens, rebirth, immortality. It has its own look to it of life and death and rebirth, reincarnation. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody will be remembered. And one way or another, they will be. For some, they'll be remembered by a small group of people, and for some, they'll be remembered by a large group of people. But at the end of the day, one should never discredit the fact that in one way or another, they will be remembered. And that's what should count above all else.
Indeed, yeah. That's pretty much what I got from it, too. I agree. I tell them in my comment that this is truly poetry. The imagery is absolutely wonderful and deep. And then I went into what I felt it meant, to be remembered. To be remembered is to be immortal. And we all strive to be remembered. Because to be forgotten is the only true death. This is a powerful piece.
Well, I would say that even the bastards of the earth would be remembered because of their evil deeds.
Well, yeah.
So in one way or another, everybody will be remembered. It's just whether or not your legacy you left behind is good or bad.
You can remember some of those. I mean, if you go right to Adolf Hitler, he's immortal.
He's definitely remembered and embraced by some,
yeah. He's very evil, so yeah.
One way or another, you will always be remembered.
There are those that are forgotten.
Well, no, not really. If they're still in your mind, then they're not forgotten.
I'm just saying there are people in the world that do get forgotten.
You mean like that?
I'm not talking about famous people. I'm talking about just some Joe Schmo that didn't have any family or anything and passed away. He's forgotten.
No, I know. Those are the small examples.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that it does happen.
No, I know.
Unfortunately, it does.
Yeah.
You don't want it to, but it can happen. Okay, and Boo had to take off.
Yeah.
So I will get a comment from Sky.
Yeah, if you want to be remembered, become a writer. They can't get rid of you that way. You'll be floating around somewhere. Stuck on a shoe like some bad gum. It was brilliant. I love these. First of all, kudos to you to reading. I think that there's something to be said for people that are willing to read other people's work online, because we naturally word different things different ways. And what's natural to you might not be natural to what you're reading. And when you're reading live, it's a little nerve-wracking. So kudos to you for reading it so well. And also, the write itself, absolutely brilliant. I reborn from the labyrinths of blooming, and I'm not going to even be brave enough to read that like you did. And then the right here, the filigree of frost melts in my heart, transformed into beautiful fleur-de-lis. I really love that. Beautiful language in this. The choreography down here of the angel's compass of the universe. I was quite taken with it. And with this message as well, kind of contemplating, as you guys have already kind of said, that immortality. And I do think people in certain ways can be immortalized. And it's up to us to keep our family members who we deem worthy to pass on. And I think for a few generations at least that does work. And I do think that, become a writer and you'll live forever. So that's the answer.
Yeah, because even if you're a terrible writer.
Hmm?
Yeah, because your stuff is still there.
Mm-hmm.
So people say,
if you're published, yeah, it's going to be in there.
Yeah.
And then someday in the future, someone will ban you. I don't want to go into that.
It's complicated. Okay. I dropped one of those down.
I don't mean to be. How many more poems do you guys have?
Gonzo and
Raz.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll stay. If I yawn in your ear, I apologize, but I'll stick and make some comments with the guys.
Okay. All right. Well, then let me go back here. This is called Caught in the Eye of a Harmonious Hurricane by We Are All Gonzo. And here I go.
Against amber winds, splashing flecks of color dew against my cheeks. The top sequence serenity skies passing across tepid peaks, tattooed, pursued, ink bonded, glued, the ever desired hue no other can undo. I remain astonished what will can accomplish when one is honest, keeping all that is promised. Not the calmest sea travels, but set sail nonetheless. Quite the modest inspiration, but I digress and acquiesce. Raging river, breaching rainbow shores of seaweed, collapsing beneath a ruby red gorge of cleavage. Squalls of effervescence seeping from pristine pores. Forever I am, indisputably, inevitably, indelibly, yours.
Well, first off, I have to say that the piano in the background was very relaxing.
Yeah, it has like that old piano bar vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, like an old black and white film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt this is a powerful piece indeed, right from the start with the title. But the one part that really caught me was, I remain astonished what will can accomplish when one is honest, keeping all that is promised. How true is that? How far one can go with the honesty rather than deceit, because deceit tends to trip you up after a while. You forget what you said at one point, and you're caught in your own web, and that's all for you. So I really like that part a lot. Very, very well written. What do you think, hon?
Well, yeah, I like the music. Definitely, it takes you back to those old black and white days, which I feel were awesome because I always call myself a throwback. I prefer the movies from the yesterdays, and that includes the black and white films because my mother, she used to watch so many different things that it just kind of stayed with me in my adult life. So yeah, I like how he built on this because as I saw it, I saw the mindset of wanting to take the dame and pour the heart out as when she stepped in, the air left the room, making it hard to breathe. Yeah, there's a lot of great lines in there. That's a great line that you referenced to. But yeah, the closing, speaking about that, yeah, that person is theirs. And congratulations on FPP.
Indeed. Excellent comment. Sky, what do you think?
I thought it was brilliantly done. I also like the way that he kind of put the aesthetics together. I remain astonished. What can I accomplish when one is honest, keeping all that is promised? I love that idea. What will can accomplish? When we put our minds to certain things or towards certain endeavors or even towards certain relationships, I guess. And look at this! It does kind of look hurricaney. I do like that. I thought it did a wonderful job. I also loved, of course, his audios are always quite brilliant, and behind them, the words, the message, and is always there as well. And I think that's important. I mean, you could be a great technician in audio, but you do have to have the means of the piece to also be done well, and he's able to do both. Really well done.
Excellent comment. And Sky, I have to tell you, we lied to you.
Well, no, I just forgot. There's two.
We still have two more because we have LG Mace too, and Raz.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You lie.
No, I honestly forgot.
It's okay. I'm just kidding. I actually just had this conversation. My goddaughter was like, "You're a liar. There is this in the refrigerator." And I'm like, it's not lying. It's making a mistake.
Now you take me back to Mr. Spock.
Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah. When she kept asking different things during the movie because he would lie, but then she'd say a lie, and he'd say an omission, or a lie, an exaggeration, that kind of thing.
But in this instance, this isn't a lie or an omission; it's a forgetting.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I should shut up. I will read for LG. She chose a painting called Wings. This is by LG Mace. This is called The Red Robin. Red Robin sings a song at 4 a.m. when I'm trying to sleep. His hymn rises to the heavens and then dips down deep. Perhaps he's serenading his lady fair, who has red feathers on her breast instead of hair. The robin's song takes me back to childhood, when there were many robins in our neighborhood, and I would stop and listen. The notes rang true. I understood. How much time and how many lands have I traveled to come to this place and moment when the red robin sings? He is not anchored by time. He is free. He flies to explore more of his territory, using his wings. The past, then, when there were so many more trees and meadows and country that lived on and did not expire, to the now, when the trees have been felled, the meadows and country crushed to make room for change. Sadness it does inspire. So sing your glorious song, Red Robin. Sing until it is time to move on to heavenly skies. Sometimes when I hear the Red Robin sing at 4 in the morning, I often find I have tears in my eyes. End poem. And it said this poem was inspired by a red robin who sometimes makes a tree in our front yard his home.
Pretty cool. Makes me think of the one time we had cardinals build a nest in the bush right outside our kitchen window.
Yeah, well, no, it was a yearly occurrence.
Yeah, and then the blue jays always chased them away.
Well, blue jays, in nature, they are bullies as far as in the animal kingdom.
Yeah, always. So you read it, hon. What did you think?
Well, yeah. I thought this was a wonderful share. As I said, this is quite the voice here that calls up to nature, the heart of metaphor that holds its aria of sadness. Life changing to make room for new life, but also with stubborn feet, as I see it, as what was is now altered. What used to be free, not so much. The closing, though, as I said, when I hear the Red Robin sing at 4 in the morning, I find I have tears in my eyes. That leaves its signature of emotion. Yeah, because, you know, of nature and anything in life, it does bring change. And, you know, the fact that she's talking about what's around her and it's altered and changed. And, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I see that the deforestation when she's talking about that they're gone and to make change.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I like this, too, because I told her, you know, there are certain things that you can count on in nature in such an uncertain world. And the Song of the Robin is always something I always look forward to hearing every spring, you know, when the birds finally come back and there's more. The evening choir starts up again as well as the morning choir because in the wintertime it's like dead silence. But I also had visions of a robin in flight, the way that she used her words. Yeah, I thought this was really great. And I'll end on a comical note saying that, yeah, if at 4 a.m. in the morning, if I hear the robin singing, I have tears in my eyes too, mainly because I'm not asleep and I should be. Just kidding.
Well, they do. A little after 4 a.m. they start waking up and chirping for the day.
They wake up happy. I don't know how they wake up so happy at that time.
Because they go to bed early. Their lives are simple. They have a lot to be happy about.
I know. I thought this was a great movie. What do you think?
Well, you stole my smart aleck comment because that's what I was going to say. I was going to say the smart aleck in me wants to say, oh boy, no. But you stole it, so you stole my thunder. I thought it was beautiful, and in all honesty, my mom, my birth mom, when we lived in Massachusetts, she found this. It was really, now we lived in an inner city, like inner city, so it was so random. But my mom she's the mom who always like finds animals on the side of the road and brings them home. Literally, like if they're like a dog's abandoned on the highway, she'll pull over and she'll take them home, and she'll like nurse them, and I don't know, she's crazy. But she found this ring-necked dove in the middle of the city when we lived down there, and a few years later we moved it to New Hampshire, but we had that bird for so long, and every single morning it cooed. It went like coo coo. I can't really make the sound, but it's like it's like a cooing and a sound. I'm not really sure what it is. Like I know the sound, but I can't make it because I can't do it. But but it was like really loud, and it was no morning. This bird would do that. But it was so, you would think like, why do I want to? But it was so, I guess, when she was gone, I missed it. It was very much so ingrained within me for so many years that she lived with us, and she lived quite a many. I don't know how long doves usually live for, but I feel like it was quite a many years. I don't know exactly how many, but it was definitely something very valued and loved. Now I hear that sound, and it's very nostalgic and beautiful to me and calming. So I can definitely relate to this beautiful, and I haven't really thought about that in so long. So thank you, LG, for this piece, because a good piece of poetry, it does two things. A good piece of poetry, I believe, you can enjoy it from the perspective of the writer, and the robin song takes me back to childhood when there are many robins in the neighborhood. You're putting me into the setting of your memories, of your history, of your emotion, of your perspective and your experience. And I'm experiencing that through your writing. And then also, it's a piece also makes me think about a piece of myself and how I can connect to that and relate to that. And I think it's beautiful that poetry and literature can do that. It can take two different people from two different places and bring them together and say, I have a memory like that too. It's very different, but it's still the same human emotion and a human condition. I really enjoyed this. I thought it not only was well written and well presented, but it was very giving as well. Very well done.
Lucid comment, and just for the heck of it, I looked it up, Sky. It says doves in the wild live on average 2 years, and that's mainly because of predation and other things like that. But in captivity, they are known to live anywhere from 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, I feel like it was quite many. She found her, I think we were in the 2nd grade, and I think we had her probably up to the 8th grade, so about 7 years. About 7 years,
yeah. Well, you think when hamsters, they usually live 3 years, maybe 4 years tops.
No, I know, but our hamster, he actually surprised us.
Yeah, he lived a lot longer than
he lived for like 5 years.
Yeah.
He was a well-cared kid.
I had a dwarf hamster, and I loved it so much. Oh my gosh, it was the cutest thing. And then when towards the end, like I had like a lot of anxiety towards the end. when he was getting a little old, and I knew his time was about to come. In the middle of the night, if I didn't hear him, I would like whack my partner. In the middle of the night, it's like, go look! I can't go look! Make sure he's all right! It's like I'm panic attack in the middle of the night. In the middle of the night, and my partner had to go up and look because I couldn't do it, and they're like, he's fine. It would be like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. It didn't matter. Because I would just have panic attacks. I'm like, I can't hear him shuffling around. And then we got that silent wheel thing, so it was even worse because they're running on the silent wheel. So I was terrible. Oh, I really loved him.
That's why that one George Michael video, December song, will rip your heart out.
Oh my God! So
because the kid has a dream about doing a bunch of stuff with his hamster, and when he wakes up in the morning, he sees his hamster had died.
Yeah. Well, he did die. I was at work, and the same partner, they called me, and I was at work, and they were like, I was talking. I don't know what happened. I don't think they just called me for this, but they were like, well, when you get home, I just have to talk about something. And then I'm like, oh my God, he's dead, isn't he? Like, I just knew, and I just broke down. I had to go home. It was terrible. And I'm like, listen, I love this whole thing.
Yeah. Well, they do become part of our family. A lot of people don't realize that. Oh, it's just a cat. No. To me, that cat is like a child.
Have you ever seen Beastmaster?
Oh, yeah. I love Beastmaster.
It's been a long time.
You know when... Huh?
Oh, no, it's been a long time. I saw the original Beastmaster with my
Mark
mother.
Singer.
Yeah, my mother, she loved that, so I saw that a lot growing up.
It made me want a ferret.
Well, you remember when Podo died? Actually, my it's funny enough, my brother had 2 ferrets, and he named them Kodo and Podo. But when Podo died, it's just too much. Like, it's just too much.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I always remember the scene where the one guy stretched the one out and he was about ready to get him with a sword, and the other one climbed up his skirt and bit him on the coconuts.
The no man.
We got somebody who called in just in time. Isn't that nice? They let him in.
I know. It was all that Kodo and Podo.
Hello, Steve, Kay, Guy.
Hi, Raz.
Yeah.
We were just going to
get around to my poem, or can I recite it?
You may read, because we just now dropped it. We were just getting ready to read it, so you called it perfect time.
All right. Here's the poem. Screw turn. Closing in wrathful harpies, the stinging exposure to the open wound. Hesperides, golden apples favor the hero capable of the virtuous deed. Simon Bowles' critical mass reasoning to mental health, affecting the unspoken verdict, lift up the Olympian torch. Lyrical melodies repeating the broken record of the aching love's clandestine center of gravity projection. The vinyl playing and skipping at the drawer room gloom, using the shutout switch to the wall panel. X factor subtraction to add plus within the inflicted by the storm rider. When the lights are gone, reaming the propane lamp. Recreate the crime scene nightmare mort. Forensic expert later search for the fatal clue in stained dog paw. Social malaria insist upon the system failure, bobbing the lop and the carved umber lumber horse to the dadius is equally of the immediate circumstance. Mellow yellow was once not universally probable, the conception birthright oscillating the resurgent spectrum wideband. Morgue to Commander Center headquarters. The therapy proposal treatment has taken over 90% of the nanoprobe. Bone marrow life, genetic and panic modification, Captain Blind Eye, bleeding to death on the light drawn of the Gulf of Mexico. Beach sand resolved to thrones to September. Bitter apple cider drinking the post-war concession to minimize a boxcart. Blackout soldier. Teleological telewave reply. Don't have it with you, but makes everyday life more than survival. It's a string of accidental occurrences, running bad luck. The sacking of Lawrence, Kansas, egging the burning down to the Free State Hotel. Human history babbling the truth with a forceful killing spree rampage. Joseph Smith breaking martial law, 1844. Naval Legion, unreported terrorism. To blood-hungry Carthage I came, away of the Illinois mob. Dark as the night of your soul, the heavenly world firmament resides about the scenario labeled End Worlds. Whatever alternate universe permitted the darkness to enter from the fourth dimensional is responsible for Oklahoma black tornadoes. 7 known networks, 1 bridge, zero-sum non-basis, non-zero-sum basis formative thinking. Metastasis, not a single crybaby managed to deny the scientific method. Lost to piss and moan out of this presumed guilty with the context of the innocence to the doubt. Resume the judgment hearing at Mark Campbell, what the public belief is to Twitter as himself, which clouds the evident material expert version of Twist and Shout. There are those who can't be touched, even you wish you had never known. These are those who would, and we wonder, the psychotic screaming from the fire pit could be autumn somber. There are those who can't be hated, even you wish to break their hearts, kid. There are those who can't be loved, and we stare at the same blue sky thinking of what will ever become of us. One-way screw and two-turn direction road home. And boom.
Wow. That's a pretty powerful piece there, Raz. I was writing a comment here. Yeah, very cool piece. Awesome imagery that gives this life as well as power, I think. I really like the metaphor of the broken record, bringing that aching love over and over again, as I find that very relatable. But I do have to say that I got a kick out of the mention of Mork from Ork, as well as Luke Skywalker himself. Excellent write.
Thanks, Steve.
What do you think, Sky?
I'm processing, man. I'm processing. I thought it was a wonderful piece. It is definitely you've gotta process it here. Screw turn. It reminds me of Turn with a Screw. Lyrical melodies repeating the broken record and aching love's clad side and center of gravity projection. I like this. I like this idea of I'm going to pick one thing because your pieces are very involved in a wonderful way, and they definitely have to be chewed and mulled over. So I'm going to take this piece, the lyrical melodies repeating broken record, and I do like that idea, especially with the idea of turning screws perhaps and perhaps stripping them and getting into certain repetitive natures. And I think that's a theme that you have a lot. I mean, you write a lot about society and relevant things, but also histories and future. And I think a common theme is perhaps those lyrical melodies repeating themselves like broken records and people falling into the same, those same ideas and having those turn screws that seem to strip and pull back out just to start over again. So I think that's pretty cool, Raz.
Sky.
Hello?
Yeah.
I think you guys are on mute.
Yeah, I was muted. Sorry. Just going to ask Raz if he wanted to plug his upcoming show at LCN. I know it's coming up, I think.
We have a show on October 29th. It's going to be JCAME doing a special of the spooky and the paranormal near Halloween night. LCN.
Indeed. Awesome. And I guess that's all we got.
Yes. Okay, sorry. So, yeah, I should give my acknowledgments and say thank you for everybody who did call in, drop for the topic folder, and provided audios. So I want to say thank you to LG Mace, Frank, Gonzo, Deb, Sky, Boo, Raz, Laughing Soul, Saz Bordon, or her username is Shelly Bordon, Pyrosis Soul Weaver, Forgotten Mage, Naomi, Dan, who is known by Budo, Jess Graham, and Zola. So thank you everybody who did stop by tonight and provided the audios and called in. It's always appreciated, and I always say keep those audios coming.
Indeed. And thank you, Sky, for hanging out with us. Thank you, Raz, for popping in. Always appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yep.
Nice.
Glad to be here.
So we're going to close with one of our openers.
Yeah, the second song that I had opened was A Boat on the Sea. I figured, why not? So, yeah, I will say, I'm not going to speak about the songs. I did that when I opened.
Right.
So I will say good night and play us out.
Indeed.
Good night, everybody. Okay.
Night.
Yep.
Okay.
There's a lamp that won't light in my poetry room. Children out playing in a big full moon. My man's barricaded there in his room. He's coming out soon. I remember when I met him, he blew in like a wind. No one was more beautiful or dangerous than him. He blew through my soul like a tangerine wind. He's coming out soon. I never knew I was built so strong. My heart is a boat on the sea. I never thought I was built for hurricanes. My heart is a boat on the sea. Luxury looms on a fog-bound day. I'm not alone now, and I'm not afraid. I'm clean and I'm free, it's all stripped away. My debts are paid. I wonder if he ever looks down on the sea and thinks about the time that he spent with me. I know everything's exactly how it has to be. All right with this world. I never knew I was built so strong. My heart is a boat on the sea. I never thought I was built for hurricanes.